That you say you can hear me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, who are here. 56 people, which is great. And if you can't, you say I can't get my Rick Ross to grow like yours, man. Just grow it out, man. I don't know what to tell you, but it's a lot of things I had on my mind ever since I came back from Ethiopia. About just a lot that we deal with in this country. But before I even get into that, um, as a just person in general, but especially us as black people, we deal with two types of problems. And we deal with, yes, racism and white supremacy, yes. But a big problem that we deal with, and I think this touches us a lot more, is some of the issues and people within our own community. Some of the people and issues in our own community at times can be very hard because you have a group of people who have been victims ever since they've been here. But on top of the victimization, they have taken on the mind of the colonizer. So however the colonizer thinks about you, they think about you. Give you an example. Do you know and realize that you came here and you were slaves? So that means that you're supposed to do everything for free for someone else, and someone else is supposed to benefit off of you. Other groups that come to this country didn't come here as slaves. They came to make a better life, business, whatever the case may be. So black people have no issue spending money with other groups of people. They don't question them about a discount. They don't tell them they're overcharging them, they're too high, etc. But when it comes to a black person, because of this mindset that comes from the colonizer, and you have to understand, a lot of black people think like the colonizer, and they respond to other black people just as much as the colonizer will respond. They get angry when you value yourself. Some of them get bothered when you think of yourself as you should be. And they tell you a lot of times that you're arrogant. They may say you think you're too much. Now, that is their equivalency of saying, like the colonizer would say, that you're an uppity Negro. And many so-called uppity Negroes was lynched by the Klan and just angry white mobs because they cannot stand to see a black person exhibit black excellence. And I've stated this many times before. Black excellence and white supremacy cannot coexist. They can't. Something's going to give one way or another, because black excellence makes the white supremacist question his whole being. Okay. The white supremacist is raised to believe that because of the color of their skin, they are superior. So they're supposed to be in a better position in life completely. And because of the color of your skin, you're supposed to be inferior to them. Now, when they meet a black person who is successful, who eat good, drive good, live good, everything about them is good. The white supremacist that's poor, and I'm gonna tell you, the white supremacist that's poor is going to be your most violent, really digging himself into the trenches white supremacist, because he cannot, or she cannot stand to see a black person have anything. The poor white supremacist is going to be the one that's going to be the biggest pocket watchers of black people. The poor white supremacist is going to be the most violent. Okay. The poor white supremacist is the one that Lyndon Johnson talked about when he said that if you give the poorest white man someone to look down on, and if you make this white man feel that he's better than the highest black man, that he won't even pay attention to an elite white person, the rich white people, the politician white people, stealing from this white person, robbing their pockets, creating laws that actually hurt and actually harm these poor white people. They won't see it because they only have the hatred of black folks to lynch. They only have the hatred of black folks to link up on. Okay. If you look at the way they operate completely, you're talking about the white supremacist global system. The only time they come together is the hatred of someone non-white. Think about that. Do you notice they have to make an enemy of someone non-white, whether it's black, Arab, whether it's a so-called Latino? And I say so-called Latino because they are, if you know the history of so-called Latinos, we're not talking about the black ones, they are a mixed race of people, right? They are a mixed race of Native American, African, and, some European, with the Spaniards. So they kind of mixed up in that way. If you know anything about the dances they're doing, all of it derives from Africans that came here or who were already here. If you do a lot of things that they do. This is why a lot of times a lot of your leaders in the past would always, we use the word cape or defend so-called Latinos, is because they knew the history. They knew slaves escaped to Mexico, and the Mexican army would fight off the white supremacists from coming in to get the slaves back. This is why you have a big section of black people who are Mexicans around Veracruz. They still there. They got brothers that's showing it every day on YouTube, but the black people that are in Mexico. Now, the white supremacists, I'm just really talking about this history, he cannot stand anyone getting along against him, even the Native Americans, okay? There were black tribes. You look at the Seminole Indians, you look at the Seminole Wars. They had a brother by the name of John Horace, black Seminole Indian. They had communities where they escaped slavery, went to Florida, right? And the Seminoles were there. So you had what we call Native Americans, and then the Africans were all there under that tribe. This is why you have a lot of African Americans that have some Native American DNA still, to them to this day. Like me, I have like less than 1%. I'm not one to have a big amount of it, but I have less than 1%. But some have more than others. So this is why a lot of times people will say that we got Native American in our family, or this person was Choctaw, this person was Cherokee, this, that was actually, normal. Even you look at Crispus Attucks. Crispus Attucks is the brother that jumped off the Revolutionary War. See, they didn't even jump off the Revolutionary War against the British. He comes from a African father and a Native American mother. If people, knew that particular story. So the Native Americans and Africans here had a deep history. So that's why you've seen some things with that. Now, because the white supremacists don't want groups to link up together against him, this is why he comes in and causes division. So now you have so much division. You have so-called Latinos, not all, but some that don't like blacks. Blacks don't like them. Everybody's separate. Everybody at each other's throats. And that's what the white supremacists do. That's why I keep my attention on the white supremacists. And that's why I say that he's the devil that the Bible speaks of, because only the devil brings division. Only the devil brings calamity. He don't want people to unify under things that's good. That's not what he wants to do. Matter of fact, he don't want his own people linking up with other people. All he do is keep division going. And, when you step outside of this country of America and you really get to peer in and see how others living and then look into our country, you see it's a cesspool of division. Okay. And ever since I've been back, I'm like, how do we live this oppression every day? Yes, as black folks, we got it 1,000 times worse than anybody else in this country. But if you still live here, you still living under oppression. If you are afraid to drive down the doggone street, that is oppression. That's not normal. If you see a police officer and your heart is beating fast, you're getting episodes of PTSD. You're afraid you're going to lose your life because of a traffic stop. That's oppression. That's not normal for us to be enduring that. And that's why I tell you, how long can we endure our plight in America? We walk down the street, you're getting harassed about an ID. You can get a ticket for any little thing to take money from you. And it has been proven time after time after time that these police ticket people to raise funds for the city. Instead of the city doing this thing, give me a second. Instead of the city bringing business to the city to make revenue, they want to target poor people. They want to lock people up in this country. Okay, you get down on your luck as a man, you lose a job, you can't pay your child support. Now you're going to jail where murderers are at. You're being put in the county jail. That's oppression. I mean, you have pedophiles in this country that's being sympathized with now. They're making videos and speeches about how pedophiles is like a sexual orientation. Like, I mean, do you guys understand the country we live in is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah? It is Babylon. I mean, y'all guys ain't really. I had a guy to talk to me about his little girl watching TV. You know me, I'm just straight on how I feel. I'm not for all these. Look, how you live your life is your business. I'm a firm believer of, I don't care if you, whatever you do whatever you do in the comfort of your own home. And that's your business. But when you're putting things out there in front of my kids, I don't care what you do, but I don't want to see it. I don't think it's appropriate. So this one, man, I knew, he was telling me about his little girl was sitting there and they were watching. It was like this AIDS commercial. And he said they had, two men in the bed, and they talking about they was getting all bothered and XYZ, and they didn't use protection. He said his little girl was sitting there watching this commercial, and he said, man, I didn't like that. He said, because why my child being exposed to that? You get what I'm saying? And it's not just that. You got all kinds of things that's out here, whether it's, I don't care if it's male and female. It could bunch of whoredom. We have feminism in this country. We actually convinced people in this country that murdering your child is okay. Murdering your child in abortion is a choice, and nobody should be able to say anything about that. It's a woman's right to choose. And this is why I say the white supremacist is the devil the Bible speaks of, because only a murderer will put a law in place to say you can murder an unborn child. And then the thing is, the people that it was meant to kill off the most, that's exactly what happens. It kills off more black people and more black children every single year. And yet black people, they say they so-called awaken and everything else, but how you not awaken and you still participating with abortions? And men don't have reproductive rights, so you can't say, oh, the man could tell you all day to get one. He could try to force you, he could pressure you, but a man doesn't have no rights and reproductive rights in this country at all. A man can't tell you don't get an abortion. A man can't stop a woman from giving a child up for adoption. A man has no rights in this country when it comes to his children. A man hardly have any rights in the area of child custody. I mean, why do the courts get to tell you what to do with your child, tell you where to go, what time to pick him up, what time not to pick him up? I mean, when you were making that kid, the courts had nothing to do with it, but now the courts control everything. I mean, you don't have no rights to your own children. Marriage in this country is basically a contract. It has nothing to do with the intent of what marriage is supposed to be. This is why people in this country don't want to get married, because it's a contract. I mean, everything you could think of is about money, oppressing the people, not getting together and doing anything that's right. You look in our community, division upon division upon division. I'm looking at a video, and I want to talk about that video before I left to Ethiopia, the one about the sister that got punched in the mouth by the Asian dude. Now, prior to me going to Ethiopia, I would have covered that video a different way. But as I stepped out of this country and I looked into our situation as black people, why do we as black people, to me, we love abuse. I think we love abuse from everybody. And everybody, at first, we used to get the abuse from the white supremacists. Now other groups are saying, shoot, they let me abuse them and they still gonna give me their money at the same time. When does it become our problem? When do we take responsibility for the abuse that we allow? Listen to the word I'm using. The abuse that we allow other people to do to us. We are the weakest I've ever seen us in our life. I've never seen us this weak. I've never seen us this docile. I'm talking about as a collective, not individuals. They got some individuals out here that will knock your head off your shoulders. I'm talking about as a collective. We're scared. We are happy with a little trinkets. We're happy with little cell phones and Jordans and clothes. We are extremely vain people. We are extremely vain. Black people are so vain because we got to look good. We got to get your nails done, your hair done. you have this, you clothes that, wear all these little designer brands. They don't care about you, these designer brands. They really don't want you wearing their clothes at the end of the day. But yet, this is what we go do as black people. Okay? When do we take responsibility for our own liberation? Because when I was in Ethiopia talking to them about certain things, they said certain things they wouldn't even put up with. They'll fight to the death. But yet in America, we won't fight to the death. You know, you talk about, some of you people talking about Julius Malema and, oh, I love him. Because that brother see what it is. He know either I get my land or I die. Black people ain't trying to talk like that. Black people like, shoot, they're cool with protesting. But when it comes to like, hey, it's either I'm getting what I want or I'm going to have to just die trying, they're not trying to hear that. Because black people in America are too comfortable. Even though we got more racists now showing up and doing different things, black people are still comfortable in America, so much so that every other group sees it, and now they're taking advantage of that comfort. Because let's go back to the Asian dude punching the sister in the mouth. It should never got to that point. Let's call that what it is. When we talk about responsibility, whether it's on the male side or the female side, that's when black folks start getting upset. We do not want to be told about our own liberation. We don't want to take responsibility for that liberation. And then we want to attack the messenger that said it, not because they're lying. I'm okay with attacking someone for lying, but they're telling the truth and you're angry about the truth. This is what happens, with a lot of black people, unfortunately. You say a lot of blacks died during the civil rights movement. Yeah, because they did. But we talking about today. We ain't talking about them in the past. I mean, they understood what it was. The first time that one of these Asian, beauty supply, and I don't know what ethnicity of Asian, I can't even get into that. But the first time one of them did this, okay, it should have been a nationwide boycott spearheaded by the sisters completely. They should have learned that you don't ever put a hand on the black woman. They should have learned that you would never get black women's money because black men don't shop there like that. And if the first one that did it would have learned and saw the nationwide boycott, and then that nationwide boycott would have turned into going and look for black women that own beauty supply stores and go and give them the money, that would have taught them a lesson. They would have never put their hands on anyone ever again. But when I seen videos of they out there protesting outside that, what's that red, whatever it was in Brooklyn, the one where they was beating the women in the nail shop, and you have people protesting about that, then they look in and then they got black females sitting in there getting their nails done. And they taking pictures of this while they're protesting about black women being beat on and having acetone thrown on their face. And I'm like, trust me, I'm sitting there like this, like, what are we doing as black people? Like, how long are we going to endure it? This is why people give up. I'll be honest with you. You start looking at this, like, people give up real quick and say, man, I ain't fooling with it. No, this is how you can do that. Because, what is wrong? Like, why do we endure that from everybody? But we don't endure it from each other. We won't let another black person hit us. We'll knock their head off. We'll kill other black people for literally nothing. Okay, Red Apple Salon, there you go. We'll kill other black people for nothing. For disrespecting us, for stepping on our shoes. It don't take much for another black person to swing on you. But other groups can punch you in the mouth, cause stitches. Other groups can call you names, and you still go back and give money. We talking about the collective. We're not talking about individuals. Maybe the 71 people watching right now would never put up with that crap. So I'm not talking about you. We talking about the collective, because the collective is the issue, not a few people. And I keep saying that over and over. So you want to make sure I'm not directing at no one here. But we got black men in the NFL. You got racist owners. They can shut that down overnight. They won't do it. It's always an excuse. Well, I got contracts. I got this. I got that. It's always an excuse to why we can't do anything for our own liberation. We've had great leader after great leader come through and speak to us and encourage us. And, you know, a lot of them were killed. A lot of them were jailed. A lot of them left the country, you know, and it's the same situation. In this country, even right after slavery, and was that the decision of 1877, not mistaken, where white folks say, no, they not about to be getting strides in this country like that. You know, we can never say in this country we got true freedom as black people. We can never say we get justice. We don't. Every single day you see things about we don't get justice. We can never say we never had a true equality, because the moment you take a step forward, they make sure to take you 10 steps back. Prime example, let's do it recent. They get Barack Obama becomes president, even though he really benefited us. But what comes after Barack Obama? Donald Trump. That takes you 10 steps back. And white folks have always done that as a collective. Anytime they view black people to get anything, is always some white lash to something with black folks. So it comes to a question. What are we doing? Then some people say, you say, well, you know what? Why even worry with this anymore? Like, why don't we just, you know, take time, get our act together as a group, save our money, you know, start visiting some African nations and possibly, you know, if we can relocate, go back and forth, you know, between America and there, you know, that way you can kind of have an escape here and there from this, you know, oppressive society. You have black folks who say, we built this country. Okay, but you have no freedom here. You don't have a lick of freedom. John Q. Public, who is Caucasian, can murder you. They just had the guy who shot up the Waffle House. They not going to even give him a trial. He murdered people. He was a white supremacist that murdered black people. And now the new game is when a white supremacist murder people, all they got to say is they crazy. They can't stand trial. They crazy. And they need to go to the mental house. And that's how they're getting away with murder. Do you understand that? That's a repeat of the past, when they would deputize white supremacists to do whatever the hell they want to do to black people. So now all the white supremacists got to do is just play crazy and murder black people. And then he's not going to go stand trial. He goes sit in the loony bin. This is what's happening. The same thing that happened to our brothers and sisters in the 1800s is happening in 2018. Like, when does it get to a point that we got to put a stop to it? We have no problem fighting against each other. We'll pick up a gun. We'll pick up a knife. We'll punch each other in the face. We do all kind of stuff to each other. But we won't even defend ourselves, you know, with self-defense. You know, our children go to these schools. How many news? It's like, for me, it's tiresome. You see black children go to these schools. You know they got rules against black hair. You know they're racist. You know they're anti-black. Like, when does it get to a point that we say, okay, now it's on us? Because why would you keep going? It's like going by a dog that bites, okay? If you know that dog bites, every time you walk by that dog, he's going to bite you. And he didn't bit you the 10th time. When does it become you at that point and not the dog? I'm just saying, when does it become you and not the dog? And that's us as black people. We sending our kids to school, public school system, where we know our children are discriminated against. We know our children, they want to have this school to prison pipeline. We know they got cops in schools that discriminate, that's racially biased against our children. We've seen the Ben Fields videos. We've seen so many videos where our black children have been abused and manhandled by these Caucasian cops. We have seen it time after time, and yet we still send our children right back to those schools. Why? Why has it to be revolutionary to create a school? That should be automatic in the black community at this point. Homeschooling or creating schools in our communities. Now, during segregation, yes, we had plenty. But because of the mindset a lot of us have, We believe the white man's ice is. I don't understand that. Why we believe the white man's ice is colder. We guaranteed to get abused. We guaranteed to get discriminated against, and that's what we want to be. Like I don't understand that. And my thing is this: if you want to endure that, that's your business. But what about your children? They can't protect themselves. You sit up there and we send our precious children to the wolves. And me, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I couldn't do it. I have a 4-year-old that's gonna be going to school. I told my wife I cannot put her in school with these people. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna find a school to put my daughter in that's run by us. And I found one, and I'm happy that she's going. And this school is local right here in Houston. Like I said, yes, you have to pay for it. I'm willing to make whatever sacrifice I got to make, but I'm not putting my daughter in a school where the local little school that she went to, they had a little white kid brought a knife to school last year after the Santa Fe shooting, talking about he was scared. Man, I know, no. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Forget that. You know, the school my daughter gonna go to, you got black teachers. She gonna be able to learn about herself. She got to worry about being taught that all she come from is just a slave. No. I can't do it, and that's my thing. But that's taking me personally trying to take responsibility as a parent. Okay, we have to take responsibility for our children. I'm sick and tired of seeing our children being ridiculed. And then we say all these racists and these white supremacists, yes, but we know they don't change. Those crooked branches won't be straight. That zebra still have his stripes. We know this already. I told you how many times that they teach their children racism and white supremacy, and they pass it to their children like an inheritance. Because you got they're doing the same things they did in the 1800s as they're doing in 2018. But it's worse today because at least the brothers and sisters would fight back. At least. Now we don't even fight back. We worse off today than we ever been. We got all this technology. We got a little bit more money in our pocket. We have a little bit more opportunity here and there. But for us getting all that, now we don't really fight back because we think we live in a good life. Our family structure is broken, you know, because they purposely broke that because of the civil rights movement. They understood the black family, and family always was upholding the fight. And so that's why they come in with putting their crack in the neighborhoods and locking black people up. And yes, I understand that they're getting their judgment for that, you know, with the opioids. I get it. But at the end of the day, we are broken. A lot of us, you know, we having sex all day and making babies. We won't make families. You know, nobody wants to take responsibility for that, male or female. I mean, I'm just laying it out here just from what I'm, you know, really seeing when I came from the outside this country to look in as us as a community. And a lot of our issues can be fixed overnight. That's the frustrating part. Not all our issues is so complex that it can't be fixed. The issue is as a collective, not individuals. As a collective, we don't want to fix it. A lot of us are too comfortable participating in white supremacy. That's our problem. For instance, like colorism. A lot of us participate in colorism. We wasn't the authors of colorism, but we participate in it. But when I was outside this country, there was no such thing as colorism. Everybody light skin, dark skin. Nobody talking about color, team, light skin. That's completely a white supremacist colonized mind who's talk like that. But yet that's what we want to fight about. We want to fight about, you know, people dating this one, dating that one, you know, interracial dating. I stated my position on that many times before. It is not for us spiritually or socially to be dating and marrying into the class of people who benefit the most from white supremacy. I've said that before, but at the end of the day, I can't control you. If you do that, that's you. I'm not wasting my time with that. because my attitude now is I'm not trying to save everybody. I'm not. I'm not trying to. You ain't got to explain nothing to me. I'm not trying. I'm not gonna waste my time when there's other issues that we need to be focused on. With these, because like I said before, people make all these arguments about, who you with, who you're not with, and whatever. My thing is, when they talk about even certain men, I can give you men who were with all kind of different races of women, and they still lost their life with a race soldier. Race soldiers don't care about the color of your woman, or no, you not having a woman, period. Race soldiers see you black, your enemy combatant. And that's how I look at things, But do what you want to do in your life. That's the only thing I tell people. Do what you want. I'm not trying to even control that. I'm focused on the bigger picture. Racism and white supremacy. Well, even that gets tiresome for me. It gets tiresome because I'm like, what are we doing about it? It gets frustrating. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And maybe some of you guys can tell me, And the thing is, like Shahrazad Ali said, right? Black people love white people. They do. They love white people more than black people. They don't hate white people. When they say, "Oh, blacks hate whites," no, they don't. They love white people. I know that for a fact. They love white people. It don't matter what white people do to a black person. They will always forgive them. They will always give them the benefit of the doubt. Trust me. When they had that scene, God, do I still have that scene on my computer? Man, I hope I do. Let me see if I can find that scene. And I had posted that one time. Let me see if I still have it. Just give me a second. Hopefully I still got it. It was that scene from Django Unchained, right? And it was Calvin. And you remember when they had came in and they was trying to get Broomhilda, and Steven was kind of putting them on game. I was like, yeah, they after that girl, right? And God, I hope I still got that scene. Let me see if I have it. If not, I'll just have to talk about it. But I hope I have it. I thought I did have it somewhere. I'm looking. Just give me a second. Hopefully I got it. Oh man, don't you hate when you have a video in your mind you want to show people, and then it pops up, and now you're looking like, where in the world is it at? Everything else is popping up on my computer except what I'm looking for. Let's see. Hold on. Everything else. Oh well, I guess I have to talk about it because I can't find it. But basically, there's a scene from Django Unchained where Calvin said, they talking about the black slaves. His exact words were, "They're my niggers, and I do whatever with them what I want." And if you think about white society, right, in this whole white supremacist society, that's the way they view black people. I just have to say it like that. We're their niggers, and they do whatever with us they want. What is it that they can't do to us in this society? What they can't tell me one thing they can't do. You get what I'm saying? And I gotta find that scene. Just give me a second. I got to find that scene. Um, that one. God, they got that one little scene. And I had posted it one time on my Twitter, but sometimes to find something on your Twitter, it's like Twitter needs to get a better way of you know how like Twitter you put media. It takes so long to find something, especially when you do a lot of posting like me. But in this country, that's basically how they treat us, right? They do whatever they want, and then nothing happens out of it. They murder us, they steal from us, they put themselves in our spaces. Like what can they not do to us? That's the question. And you know why I asked that question? What they cannot do to us? Because if they don't have no restraints of what they do to us, that means we have no freedom, we have no rights. So what are we doing? Like what are we really doing in the United States of America? So shucking and jiving or having some little chains around your neck or wearing some little Gucci belt or having you some women or whatever else the case you want to do if you're a guy. You know, a woman having some guy tricking off for you, giving you little trinkets. Like, what are we really doing? At any moment they kill us, nothing happens to them. The cops don't go to jail. Um, Another white person in society could just say they're crazy as hell and they don't get in trouble. How long are we supposed to endure the plight in this country? And then so we talk about, like I said before, if you're not going to end it, because you could end it, that's the frustrating part. You can end most of the problems today. Your liberation is in your hands, and yet we don't do nothing. We don't. So I'm firmly believe that we comfortable with that. We comfortable with oppression. We comfortable, with victimization. So my thing is, where's the people? You're talking about Julius Malema. Where's the Julius Malemas of this country, right? And if you have a Julius Malema come up, of course, white supremacists is going to come at him. The alphabet boys are going to come after him or her. We're not going to protect him or her at all. They're going to be stuck out by themselves, okay? And because we don't have a history of protecting the people. The only reason people like Minister Louis Farrakhan nothing happens to him because he got the nation behind him, and that's why, and they protect him. But anyone else that come up, they're not going to be protected. They're just really not. Oh, well, I don't like he said this. I don't like, they say one thing and you don't like, and now you don't support them no more. It's what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, that's my mindset every day. And it's been hard for me even trying to make some videos of thinking like that. What are we doing? Are we just complaining about what racism, and then we get our racism fix to complain? Then we do the next story, we complain. Then we do the next story and complain. The next child go to school and get kicked out because of their hair. Then the next child go to school, get kicked out because of their hair. Then the next child go to school and the police beat them up. What are we doing? That's all. I'm just asking those questions, and you guys help me with that. That's all. What are we doing? Because I see story after story after story, but then I'm like, I want progress. I don't want to just keep talking about what happens. And yes, people all over the world see these stories, and it's great that they're seeing it. It's great they understand it. But what are we doing? You say Africa is waiting for us. I believe that. Of course, they've told me that. They want us to come back. Like I said before, never in my life have I heard anybody tell me that we want you here. This is your home. Now, once I've been told America is my home, or that you're wanted here. I've been told quite the opposite. You need to leave. Go back to Africa. Everything else. Most black people don't have any kind of pride in America like that. because look at the way we treat it. Why would you have any kind of pride? But yet, we've been here. I understand that we fought in every war. We built this country. Yes, our families are here. Yes, and I understand. America still has some advantages to it. And being a Black American overseas is an advantage. Let me tell you something. Being a Black American is more respected overseas than it is here. Here, you get no respect. Like Rodney Dangerfield back in the day, you get no respect. But overseas, you get respect. This is why, a lot of times, you say brothers or even sisters go overseas, find different people, whatever, is because we see each other, totally different here. We don't a lot of time respect each other. We talk to each other any kind of way. Our relationships are just not what they're supposed to be. And it's because of this system. This system has screwed us up. Like, we are a screwed up people. And these white supremacists have really screwed us up because, one thing that they always say, if they don't treat you right, they're not going to teach you right. So, you got to think about it. In school, they're indoctrinating our people to be inferior by teaching them we come from slaves. They don't talk about the kings and queens of Africa. They won't tell you that. All they're going to tell you is the slaves and the white supremacist conquest of all these different people. That's it. That's all they're going to do. Right? So you say it hurts to have and give small jobs like web design to Asians. We would have loved to deal with our cousins in diaspora, lack of contact. Both of us are losing. Well, yeah, but see, my thing is we got to connect. Like they told me at the African Union, a lot of you here can't even get jobs. You got degrees that you earned, can't get jobs. You go to the continent, you can start working, getting jobs, do different things. Everybody's going to the continent and making moves. I saw a bunch of whites, like I told you. I saw a bunch of Asians. Where's the African Americans? Like I say, one thing Trump said, I can apply to this. What do we have to lose at this point? Getting connected with Africa. What do we have to lose to even go and just see it for ourselves? Or even if we want to relocate, what do we have to lose? What do we have to lose? We're not gaining anything at this point. All we doing is surviving in America. That's it. A few people are doing great, but we're just surviving. We don't want to come together on group economics. We don't want to teach other groups to treat us right. We don't want to stand up and fight. We get it. We love people like, Julius Malema or whatever else we like. But, you got people like Minister Farrakhan that's been speaking more fire way before Julius Malema even showed up. People like that, Khalid Muhammad. I mean, we had so many great people that has been sent to us to help us fix ourselves. Like Malema is not nobody that I haven't heard before. Julius Malema looks up to Louis Farrakhan. He was reposting his videos. So we've had many great people that's been sent to us, and all the great people that's been sent to us, they have died, and our condition has not changed. Think about that. Their whole lives, they lost their lives fighting for us, and we're worse now than we were when they were here. And we still have their words. So it's not like they died and then their words disappeared. Especially with the internet, you have their books, you have their words, you have their speeches. YouTube has everybody's stuff. Everybody. That you can apply what they taught today in 2018, even though they are not here with us anymore, with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, whether it's people like Dick Gregory, like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad. I mean, whoever you could think of, Dr. Ben, Amos Wilson, all these different people that we can apply. Their messages are still relevant to this day, and we could use those messages, and we still are in the position that we're in. Why? Well, Jalila, yeah, Jalila. It is discouraging a lot. I'm gonna tell you, Jalila, and I like I said, this is why I'm just talking to you. I'm not getting on the public show to do this. It's discouraging because we've been sent so many people, great people, eloquent people, smart people. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X's words about the fences, the white liberal, is the exact same accurate words to this day. You know what I'm saying? And yet we still do the same thing with the white liberals, right? And it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. And like I said, a few of us get it. A few of us do. For instance, when I started the Patreon page, right? I was attacked not by white supremacists. I was attacked by black people, not white supremacists. You would think the white supremacists would have been attacking me. They came against me so hard when I started the Patreon page. So hard. It was black people. My stuff not good enough for that. Why can't I do it for free? Like everything like that, right? Not even the white supremacists. I mean, and how many times have people like Dr. Claude Anderson and all these different people told you about group economics, building each other up, practicing, doing all this stuff to build us up, right? How many times have we learned the mainstream media is evil? The mainstream media is against black folks. We need our own media outlets. It costs money to run that. Just like today, I saw an article out of the Washington Post. They posted about Ethiopia. I don't know why they're posting about Ethiopia all of a sudden, but it was an article that someone shared with me came out today about Ethiopia. And they were saying, the prime minister he's trying to change things, but 1 million people's displaced in Ethiopia, and they having, tribal issues, and, the economy isn't doing good. And they said all this stuff about Ethiopia. And I'm like, I was just there. What are you talking about? They were talking about the Tigray people. And I'm like, I was in the midst of the Tigray people. They wasn't fighting with nobody. I even went to the rural area and they wasn't fighting with nobody. What are you talking about? I'm not saying it's not going on or no issues is happening. But come on. The way they made that article, it seemed like Ethiopia is a hellhole. The way they wrote that article. And I was just over there. You seen the videos I posted. You seen the rooms I stayed in. Y'all seen it. I documented much as I could on my own before the video come out of everything that we did and experienced in Ethiopia, right? But yet these people will lie. And I talked to this Nigerian brother I talk to all the time. His name is Oye, right? And he says what Africa needs is, someone to help, get rid of the lies and all these things that the Western media do. He said they take 5% of the issue that's in Africa, and then they say that's the whole country. He said, I said, but yeah, that'd be like me in America saying, okay, America is all about opioids and gangs and poverty in a rural area, and that's America. That's just what I say. Everything you report, that's America. That's a small problem, but that's not the majority of the country, right? But that's what they do to Africa. So it takes people like myself and many others to go and go and get the real stories. Because I was in Ethiopia, they kept telling me over and over and over, thank you for what you're doing. We so appreciate it. We can't wait for the video to come out. We actually need help with someone actually telling the truth because they lie on us all the time. They say, we have problems. Yes, we have problems. We're a developing nation. He said, but we're not the way they say we are. You get what I'm saying? So we need, the narratives are horrible. The narratives are horrible. Well, no. Let's say if not now, when, Willie? I'm just asking a question. If not now, when? Because, you say we still recovering. No, we're not recovering. Recovering means you're getting better. We're getting progressively worse, Willie. Trust me. I cover this stuff. I study it. We're not getting better at all. So if not now, when? That's like when you sick, you do something about it. When you see your condition constantly go down, you don't wait until no, you have to turn that condition around. And unfortunately, many of us are so comfortable in this country, comfortable in Babylon, comfortable in Sodom and Gomorrah. We see the evil around us, and yet we are comfortable in it. It kind of reminds me of that old Bible story with Sodom and Gomorrah, where they wanted Lot's family to leave. They didn't want to leave. You say, well, the angels will come destroy it. They didn't want to really leave. They're comfortable in that evil. And that's a big issue with us as black people. We're comfortable in this. We know it's wrong. We know that, they sympathize with pedophiles in this country. We know children be abducted all the time. When I was in Ethiopia, they had children just out, just chilling. And I'm thinking in my mind, said, oh my God, those children, but they're like, nobody be abducting kids around here. They're like, they do that mess here, abducting people's children. You can't let your children play outside, or you're not gonna find your child anymore. This is what we have to endure. You got sex trafficking going on in this country. You get what I'm saying? Police is corrupt. You have a blatant racial system in this country, and we still deal with it to this day. And then if you speak about, well, let's try an African nation, black people and the white supremacists, of course, will attack you for saying that. We're not African. They don't want us over there. But yet when I went over there, they kept just telling me, welcome home. We need you here. We'd love for you to live here. Come back, bring your family, bring your friends. I mean, total opposite of what I was, been told on the internet, that they don't like us. Right. So which one is it? Are we going to endure that? Or I'm just trying to, I'm asking questions to you guys. You guys help me, because as I do these commentaries, and you see why I feel saying certain things, you'll know why. I'm telling you. Oh, you say no reason you don't have over 5,000. We blacks love to be stingy with one another. You know what? And I'm not a stingy person. I'm gonna let you guys know that anytime that a black person needs something from me, or just really anybody, I give. Okay, I believe in giving and receiving. I live that. I didn't used to be that way, but I learned the principle of giving and receiving. So if God puts something on my heart, I do it. I don't even question it. A brother and sister, they got crowdfunding. Phil donates. Phil does Patreon for people. Phil do one-time donations for people. Phil has paid for meals before for people. You know what I'm saying? Not because they asked me to, because I felt in my heart to do that. So I believe if I'm giving something, that I should give back. That's the way I feel. About the Patreon situation, I mean, I talked about that in the past, but unfortunately, that's part of the issue of being black in America. And when you talk about how other groups support their own, and then you compare and you tell black people that, the first thing black people tell you is, well, we ain't got the money these other groups have. Like, well, you spending trillions of dollars a year, billions of dollars on entertainment. Like, what are you talking about? You giving these churches billions of dollars and not getting nothing out of it. At least we're not asking for 10% of your income here. We're asking for a minimum, if you could, $2 or maybe $5 a month. I mean, I feel that our content is at least worth that. I think it is. I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect. I know I can get better, and which I'm trying to get better every day. I am. But I feel it's at least worth that much. And I'm not asking all 800,000 subscribers to join my page. If we had, like you said, 3,000, people total on Patreon, or a little more is great. And the reason why we even started a Patreon page is because of what happened with YouTube. Because at one point in time, I ain't had no Patreon page. But when YouTube had that ad crisis happen, right, and everybody's revenue got cut 80+%, that's how we started Patreon. And actually, it was better to have a Patreon. It's better to create shirts. It's better to create all kind of streams of revenue outside of YouTube, because YouTube can take your page. You know that. Your page can be gone like this. Okay, then how are you going to continue doing what you do, right? So it's better that the people support and you create opportunities outside of YouTube, where you're selling shirts, writing books. If you musically inclined, you're selling music, whatever the case may be, it's good to, do something outside of YouTube. And I tell everybody that don't depend on YouTube as your source. I don't care how high up you get in YouTube. Don't depend on that as your source. Use YouTube to branch off into other things. And if the people support you, then like me, somebody I like, they have a Patreon page. I join the Patreon page. I don't want to be missing anything that they're talking about. No, so I join. And that's kind of how I do it. Because I don't ask people to do something that Phil is not doing. That's just the way that works. Well, it's true. It's true. Some black people don't stand together, Jalila, but you don't need the majority to make a change. That's the one thing we have to understand. If you look at like South Africa, talking about the EFF, they say they about 50,000 strong, but look at the waves they're making with 50,000 people. You don't need millions of people to make a change. If we had 50,000 people that were just ready to go, 50,000 people that's looking to make changes and inspire other people in this country, then oh wow, they said John McCain died. Okay. Oh, he had took himself off of what is it? Is his medicine, so he just died right out. I guess he was ready to go. That's all that was. But anyway, if we had people that was dedicated, like I said, if we had 10,000 or more people in every state in America that was dedicated, there was leaders, there was attorneys, there was educators, that there are all kind of different things that we need to make things happen, right? We can do it. We can make a big difference. But those people have to be so committed. They'll have to want no influence on the colonizer, don't want to talk to them about anything, just trying to fix our issues and our problems. It can do it. But you have that kind of group, black folks will be the main ones, unfortunately, because they have mindsets of the colonizer, trying to sabotage that group that's trying to help them. You gotta look at Marcus Garvey. He tried to help black people, and it was black people that tried to sabotage him too, not just J. Edgar Hoover. We gotta stop doing that. Yes, it can happen overnight when black people make up their mind, but they're not making up their mind. And the more and more we allow, like, do you understand the George Zimmerman killing of Trayvon Martin set all this off? Do you realize that? The moment that we as black people didn't make a response to George Zimmerman, and he got away with killing Trayvon Martin, and he's okay to run around Florida and not do anything, and he's fine. Do you realize that opened the door for the modern day murdering of black folks that we've never, whether it's cops, whether it's somebody in the public, just murdering black people. You look at Corinne Gaines, okay? Look at Corinne Gaines, that sister, may she rest in power. These race soldiers came in and shot her child, a 4-year-old child. And and nothing happened out of that. They got away, even though the little boy survived. They shot a child. Do you realize, guys, how evil these people are? They will kill your children. Like, most people, won't fool with children. But they will kill your children. They will harm your children. They will maim your children. Maim the women. And we as a community don't do anything. They keep doing it over and over and over and over and over, and we do nothing. But we dress good though. Our hair done, and we got shoes, and we worrying about what's that guy I can't even stand looking at, that Tekashi 6ix9ine, and you worrying about what he's doing, and that's black folks. You just entertain black folks, and that we good. While our culture and community is going to hell, they stealing. Look, Post Malone, what I heard the other day, won some sort of rap award. They're literally taking you out of your own culture. The face of R&B is somebody white. The face of rap is turning to somebody white. They stealing everything from you in your face. But hey, You good, right? Everything that you work for, everything that you built, they stealing it from you, and you're cool with that. And I'm sitting up here like, why do we sit here and let everybody steal our culture, steal everything from us, and then get mad when we speak up about it, and then we shut the hell up when they fire back at you and say you didn't do this. This is for everybody, and we shut up, and we don't have to respond and say, okay, well, you don't respect black people, fine. We about to shut you down. We ain't nobody listen to your music. Nobody going to your shows. No, we don't do that. We'll still support that. We got silly black men, and I'm gonna say this: silly black men. That silly that chick Selena Powell, that Instagram chick, Selena Powell. She always getting caught up with these black men, and that's getting on my nerves. Some little skinny Caucasian female that pays some money to make her lips look ridiculous, putting lip fillers in her mouth. All these black men sleeping with the same woman. And I'm sitting up there looking, and that's another thing that's so sickening in this country. It's like I say, come on, man, that's stupid. You know, y'all Negroes, and I say Negroes, sit up here laying down with the same female, laying down with her, giving this female a name, okay? But if it was a black female that did that, then she the hoe, she this, she that. All y'all laying with the same, all y'all swapping bodily fluids with this nasty female. I mean, like, I don't get what they even fool with her for. Like, you know, it's like the self-hate is so real with black people that the same features that you see on black people naturally, you go crazy if it's on a white female. And I'm talking, you know, like I don't understand that. Like all the lynchings, and they calling the police on you and for barbecuing, and any little thing. You go into the pool, they call the police on you. Man, that'd be the last female I'll be fooling with. Because I would just be thinking about all them incidents, and I'd be getting pissed off. But no, she sits up there taking pictures with Akon in the bed, and all these different ones, and these silly black men. That's what we worried about. Laying down with females like that, but yet our community is dying off. That's what's frustrating. That's what's frustrating. So, what I'm asking you guys, you help instruct me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want your some of your opinion. You know, you say Kim Kardashian. You know, Kim Kardashian was doing her hoeing, you know, but I guess she eventually got married. I wouldn't have married no Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry. I would want no woman I'm married to be known to be sleeping with every black man in Hollywood. You know, to me, you know, you got some brothers out here that don't have no, what's what I'm looking for? I guess self-respect. You don't lay down. You don't marry no woman that's been with everybody. You don't. And Kim, ever since she been with Kanye, you know what I'm saying? She been keeping that golden bronze color on. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Ever since she been with Kanye, she been about the color of a caramel toned black woman. It's like I'm thinking that's something she feel he likes, and she want to make sure she keep that up. I don't know if y'all noticed that. And in America, beyond with you, if you look at America versus other countries, you know, you said we need to set a standard values as a people. We don't have that. We don't have a set of standard values at all. We allow any old thing in our group. We don't have any kind of code of conduct. You know, like the Ethiopians, at least they got a code of conduct. At least certain things in their society, and they're not going to put up with. Like I said in my video, I didn't see Ethiopian women walking around with their butt out and their breast out and all that other, you know, things, you know, that we'll see right here in America, you know, looking like they're on the track. I didn't see any of that. Tight clothes, everybody wearing tight clothes. All these women, You see all the crack of they behind and they private part in some pants. Everything tight. I didn't see that over there. And then you wonder why men look at women in a sexual manner in this country like that. And like, oh, well, men should look at women. Like, why are you dressing like someone that's street walking? Look, I call it like it is. Men respect women who dress modestly. If you wear clothes that look like, you showing everything, men automatically going to think sexual. Yes, Dark Princess, I am Dark Princess. I really am. And it was no sagging pants. You're right about that. Nobody was sagging their pants in Ethiopia. I didn't see nobody sagging their pants at all. That's ridiculous, man. You walking around with your pants underneath your butt and you accept that as normal. And what I don't understand is women get with guys like that. Like, women actually get with guys like that. I mean, you would think women would say something wrong with him. My thing is this. Them guys get mad when I say this, but a woman's okay with a man showing his butt to everybody. Like, who you offering your butt to? Because women ain't asking for that. So who you offering your butt to? That's not a style. You got black people that will defend the worst behavior ever. It's a style, Phil. I mean, come on, man. You just acting old. The females. Well, we wear this and that. It's always this. It's women. They can do what they want with their bodies. And this is why you're not getting married either, sweetheart. That's why you're not getting married. What man want a woman constantly walking around with tight clothes on all the time? Every man know what the crack of your behind look like. Oh, you say in Nigeria, say they self-police? Yeah, that's by a lot of African culture. From what I heard, they kind of self-police. Yeah, you say you can't be thugging and going around as a slut, doing your home but not in public. Yeah, it say the feminization of the black male and masculation of the black female. But we allow that to happen by not having a code of conduct that says, look, this how it's supposed to work. You see a female walking around with all her breasts out, her butt, all that stuff. It should be the women that should check her. The older sisters say, hey, young lady, go put some clothes on. Oh, are you a prostitute? They used to come out. The old women used to say that in our community. Same thing with the guys. Hey, pull your pants up. What's wrong with you? You acting like you're like some little thug. We don't have that. We had this attitude. Well, everybody do them. Well, Jalila, yes, even though you dress modestly, yes, you can be harassed. You know why? Because our society is very perverse, it's very ungodly. That's why. It's hard for everybody, to try to have some sort of relationship here. This is why, oh my God, I'm just frustrated in a lot of ways. Yes, you're right. The oversex. I remember years ago, Fashion B 499. I was gonna look for some shorts for my little girl, and I was in JCPenney. And never forget this. I looked down the shorts. I said, "What the hell is this? This is underwear." I said, "What parent would buy this?" And they had a white lady that was kind of standing there. She was listening, and she was looking at it. And I was going off, and she put the shorts back down to the left. I guess she realized, like, man, he right. Like, I say, why are we allowing our children to walk around with booty shorts on? And they selling this. The shorts are shorter and shorter and shorter. The pants are tighter and tighter and tighter. Like what pimp are they you trying to put your kids to go work for? Why I gotta sew so much freaking skin? When I was a kid, girls like that, well, you kind of knew what they were. Now that's normal for everybody. Everybody dressing like strippers and porn stars now. And then you wonder why women aren't getting married. No man is gonna make. Listen, today society, women dressing like that, men having sex with women just barely meeting them. That's why women aren't getting married. Like I said, I said I wanted to write a book on that. Like why women in America just will not get married, and it has nothing to do with your looks. Looks has nothing to do with it. Well, that dude got arrested, Alexander. So it is what it is on that. But I'm asking you guys, like I said before, how long can we endure the plight in America? How long can we endure that? Are we going to change it? Or we just need to have a contingency plan to relocate outside the U.S.? Uh, that'll be soon. It'll be this year though. It'll be soon. But like you tell me, can we fix the problems we have in the black community, or we just need to say, you know what, wash our hands like this, and just try to find different locations outside the U.S. How's my health been since I've been back eating U.S. food? I ate something yesterday that I normally would eat, and it made me sick to my stomach. So I'm figuring it's weird. It's like I can't really food that processed food, since I've been back because like I said, it literally made me feel sick. So I've been trying to eat more salads. I've been eating like salads with tuna and things like that. Or for breakfast, I have some oatmeal. I think I had like like your what's that thing? The bagel, just with some egg, stuff like that. But I can't really. I don't know. I can't eat some things like I used to because it just make my stomach hurt. You say you do that now, you're going to get cussed out. Well, at one point, I don't, and that's another thing. At one point in time, cussing, women didn't cuss like they cuss today. You used to have men that would like certain kind of men that would cuss, and now women be cussing every other word. It's like it's like women that would cuss like that would be like you say more so your prostitutes, your strippers, your whatever. Now women, you say how's the coffee in Ethiopia compared to the U.S.? 1,000 times better. I told everybody Ethiopia has the best coffee in the world. Yes, but women in America aren't getting married though, because men aren't marrying them. You say if we relocate, thousand one thousand gonna be left behind. Maybe the rest will get the picture. Then I don't know. I feel like something really bad has to happen until the collective wake up. Well, do you want to be part of that bad? Do you want to be in that group that goes through whatever it may be? 'Cause like I said, it's bad now. So how much more do we need? Well, for them to try to put us back in slavery, Shay, because they say they don't want us to leave. Shay, they don't want us to leave. Don't let them tell you that because they really want us to leave. They'll make the flight so much cheaper to fly to Africa. They'll make that so expensive to fly to Africa. If you notice that, you can probably get cheaper flights going to Europe than you can going to Africa. You say fashion. You say you're relocating. This country's too far gone. We have a God-given will to build ourselves even stronger. I'm telling people this. I'm not telling everybody just drop everything you got in America and just leave. Now, if God put in your heart to do it, do so. I just say get you some, build up yourself outside the U.S. and go back and forth, which a lot of people do that. Say, hey, I'm gonna stay 3 months, here, 6 months here. I'm gonna come back to U.S., stay a couple of months, go back. I would say do that. I mean, because if you have business going on here, I mean, you still can. It's still an advantage still being an American citizen, whether we agree with the way we treat or not, it's still an advantage, you know, in other parts of the world. So you need to take every advantage that you have and use that so you could build yourself up, right? Um, but that's what I suggest. Now, you feel like, say, you want to relocate completely and you're done, and like, hey, do that. But for me, what I want to do is go back and forth. That's kind of like I want to do. But I would say stay more over there and then come back here a few months, you know, like that eventually. But because, you know, you got to be realistic. Like I was talking to my wife about this. She said, yeah, let's say if we was to relocate in 5-6 years. She said, you guys remember, our families are here, kids. She said, okay, the kids are grown. But we say if me, you, and my little one was to relocate, what about our other kids? Like, are they going to come with us? Or are we going to bring our whole family with us? So you can't even get, like you said, it's true. Sometimes it's hard to get my dad to come visit me, and I live an hour and a half away from my dad. I have to go visit him half of the time. So you say, you imagine being way over in a different country? I mean, I said, yeah. I said, I get it. You say we need a right of return. We can get them in Africa, Haiti. Well, I know, at least in Ethiopia, if you marry an Ethiopian, and you can get a permanent resident. I know that much. I did read up on that. Well, yeah. I mean, but I really think that a lot of us do need to just leave in mass. I really do. But you, like you said, there's gonna be a lot of people left behind. But I really do think we need to just leave, like, just show them that you know what, we're not we're not your slaves. That we'll take off and we'll go we'll go make another country better. Our money will go a lot longer. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I didn't say we didn't have a right to be here. That's not what I said. My thing is, you have a right to be here all you want, but you will never get freedom, justice, and equality in this land controlled by a colonizer. So what's good as your rights? You don't have none. You don't have none. They murder you. Nobody goes to jail. But let you barely breathe on a white man wrong. Watch how many years you go in jail. Just watch. Just recently in New York, a police union want to pay $500 to people to help the cops restrain people. Now you know who the main ones will be doing that? Them white boys. And who the main ones they will be targeting? Black folk. That's them deputizing them to do what the hell they want to do. But we have a right to be here. That's the only thing I'm just saying. What good is that right to be here? And we can't even live. You know, at any moment they can murder your children, murder mine, murder me. At any moment, and nothing's going to happen to them. Nobody goes to jail. Nobody's not going to fight for me if something happened to me. They're going to say, oh, yeah, I liked his videos, and he was pretty cool, and that's it. Well, 400 black people leaving America to Liberia, that's not even a scratch of the surface. Now, if you said 400,000 black people left, then they'll pay attention to that. That's when they'll pay attention. Let 400,000 black people, even though that's not a lot either, but let 400,000 black people leave and go to an African nation all that in once. Oh, yeah. That'll get the government's attention. They'll be like, what is that government offering them over there that they all left at one time? Trust me. Well, you say they don't want us to leave, but they just want us to fear them and make them feel strong. Um, but we do. They don't have a choice if we leave or not. That's the thing. they don't have a where am I at? Hold on. They don't have a choice. If they actually had a choice, then okay, now they say now they are 3,000. Yeah, you have to be prepared for that. Like Julius Malema say, if you had black people in mass getting passports, then you have to be prepared for them to raise the price. Because they'll say, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Too many Negroes getting these passports. Then they're gonna try to figure out what's going on, why they want to leave. That's the thing. They want to figure out where you want to go. They're probably start asking you questions like, so you get a passport. Where you want to go? That's how they do it. And black folks just tell them their business. Oh yeah, I mean I just want to go see Africa, and you just tell them everything instead of saying, I just want to have it. That's it. You say, should we surrender to white supremacy or continue to battle it to the end? Why was surrendering to anything like an option? Surrendering to white supremacy is basically becoming a coon. Fight it while you're here, but if you feel like you can't deal with it, or whatever, because not because of you, but because of our people don't want to fight it. Then I'm just trying to give you, because it gets to a point that you get tired. Okay, you get old and tired. It happens. So I'm saying is, you're getting old and tired. Why don't we think about a way to possibly relocate, if that's what we choose to do, to an African nation. That's the only thing I'm saying. That way we won't have to deal with white supremacy and all their crap. Have I heard about the Georgia closing polls for primary? Yeah, that's another thing. You fight for voting rights. They take it right back. They disenfranchise you. They do all kind of things to you. They don't want. Listen, voting is a right for an American citizen, right? You're not an illegal. You're an American citizen, and yet they're fighting to stop you from voting. Don't you get what I'm saying? Like any little thing that you get, they try to take it away from you. Everything. Like it just. Dark Princess say, I'm tired of our people and I'm only 19. You know what I'm saying? It's just because we are being cowards. As a group, we're cowards. This is the first time in history for me just studying Black American history. This is the first group in history I can say is the most cowardice group of black people that's ever walked around. Sure, we got some courageous individuals, but we talking about as a collective. And then you got some people say, we ain't like them people in the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement people did a whole lot that you're not doing. They did a lot. We were nonviolent. Maybe they were, but they still got a lot. They still did more in a lot of instances. The only mistake that even King admit this is integration. But other than that, they still did mass boycotts and all kinds of things. We can't boycott in even 2 weeks. No, I didn't visit any prison. Well, a lot of Darius Williams, a lot of black people believe that, this comes from the Bible, that they say that we will be taken to a foreign land and be in another land for 400 years. After 400 years, you'll be basically, released from that particular bondage after 400 years. And it could have some significance, but God himself can release black people right now, and they still will have so much love for the colonizer they wouldn't want to go. Just like if God himself parted the Atlantic Ocean and told black people, hey, get to going to Africa. I got a way for you. You can drive your cars right on the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. I dried it all up for you. Black folks like, I ain't going over there. For what? I'm fine right here. Just like on a plantation. Slaves were released. Slaves actually said, I don't want to leave, master. What I'm gonna do? Nothing has changed. That's the only thing I'm trying to tell y'all. So I'm trying to deal with that every day now. Like, what do we do? Like, how can I proceed in a good way on my videos so I can help the people without being frustrated? You get what I'm saying? Because I'm sick of I get sick of our people being treated like crap. I get sick of watching our children being treated like crap. I get sick of watching our people being murdered. Like, I get tired of it. But I'm a fighter though. I'm a fighter, and I am. You know, I get frustrated and disappointed. I'm a fighter, and I'm not gonna let the white supremacists see me disappointed. I fight them in my disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't get them no satisfaction. But we got to look at ourselves and change. We got to look at ourselves. You know, yeah, you say, yeah, Harriet Tubman did say that, but you know, hopefully, like I said, I reach the people that need to be reached, and you know, the black people that don't want it. Well, we're not gonna focus on them. Let them stay with the slave master and do what they do. The black people that got their eyes open, they're gonna be getting their passports. You know, they're gonna start saving money. They're gonna start visiting African nations. You know, a lot of people ask me, well, why don't you put something together where we all can travel as a group? But like, that's something extra that I don't know if I can even do. You know, and I would have to dedicate somebody to even try to do something like that. Because you know, I'm just so busy. But you know what I'm saying is, you know, I don't want to tell you about some things down the line that happen, but you know, just keep your ears open. It may be something next year coming up where you know you could look into. But the first step is get your passport. That's what I'm saying. Get your passport. Start saving your money so you can make your first trip to an African nation, and then when you come back, tell me about it. Tell me about how you think. Tell me about what you really see about this country. Tell me what you think about Black America once you come back. I promise you. Everyone said this before I went, that Africa is going to change you. And it's true. It does change you. Well, you know, I don't expect all black people to watch me because, like I said, you got black people that you know, for instance, like I had once black person. It's just annoying, you know, and I got to deal with that. Prior to me going to an African nation, you know, I was saying about the Chinese and XYZ about their racism, and like I feel the same way to now. If you're gonna be racist against black people, I don't care if you're white, Chinese, whatever, get out. That's how I feel about it. Now, I got some education by some millionaire Ethiopian businessmen about why they deal with China, and that's just education I got with that. And this person gonna say, yeah, you gonna listen to a black American about China, we're gonna listen to a Ethiopian. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to them because number one, I was in their country. Two, I'm looking at all the infrastructure they're building. Three, they deal with them because they got millions of dollars. You don't deal with them. You was in the same position I was before I left. So why would I even listen to you unless you're a black American that go over there, do a lot of business, and you deal with them, and then okay, we having a conversation. Then I would listen to you. I mean, like this. Some people, you know, I say that with the internet, some people shouldn't even be talking. David, people still email me to, videos. They drop them in private messages. They just send them to me in any kind of way. But like I say, guys, I want to keep you. I'm definitely running over time for sure. I usually don't broadcast this long, but you know, just think about it. And those of you, you know, I definitely want to thank you for being part of the Patreon page and also part of the channel memberships on YouTube. I thank every person for that. Like I said, let your friends know, family know about the page. Tell them if they can join us on Patreon, channel memberships. If not, just subscribe, watch the videos. We greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment. Tell your friends to get passports too. You know, now you got the information. You get a passport, they get a passport. Try to go to Africa together. You know, make it a fun trip for everybody. Take your family. You know what I'm saying? maybe they never seen it. You never know. Like I said, you may go over there and may not want to come back. Like me, I didn't want to come back at all. I could still be over there right now, but we back. We got work to do, and that's just how it is. But thank you for listening, everyone, and see you on the next live stream, which I don't know, may do a public live stream tomorrow, but I'm undecided. But I would definitely want to get one done with you guys. Thank you for taking an hour and 44 minutes to